Hello, 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 everybody. It is Pumpkin LPN. I'm back with my life as a Navy wife vlog number 2. And this time I'm going to answer a question that is concerning one of the Navy wives on another website. I'll not give her name or anything, but I'll explain the situation. She and her husband have been married for 3 years. He is in the Navy. He's stationed in the East Coast. She's living in the West Coast. And he's been in for 12 years. And he wants to get out the Navy. And she wants him to get out. But then again, she doesn't want him to get out. And she's asking, what should she do as a wife? What should she tell him? This can be kind of hard. If it were me, I'm going to tell you what Pumpkin would do. I would tell him to stay in. And I would move to where he is. Let me tell you why. Number one, when you're living in 2 totally separate states and there are thousands of miles between you, it's very hard to get a relationship to work. They are having marital problems. It's that distance. You know, that long distance relationship, any long distance relationship is hard. And especially when you're married and you haven't been married for that long. You've only lived together as a couple for a year. It's almost like you don't even get to really, know each other, because people change over the years. You have experiences, you learn. Everything that happens in your life molds you. So of course, over a year, even over 6 months, you change a little bit, either for the better or for the worse. And, it's hard. I, for one, would not want to have that much distance between me and my husband. Now, my husband, when he met me, I was living in Delaware. And, of course, he was stationed here. And I own a home in Delaware and everything. I had bought a home for my children and I, my 2 kids. And I was doing fine. But he wanted me to marry him and come and live in Virginia. And so I'm like, I don't really want to, but if I'm going to take his ring and I'm going to become his wife, I have to go to where my husband is. So I left my home. It's still sitting there empty. I really wish somebody would buy it. It's a steal. I sell it at a steal. And I came here. I came here because my husband needs me. And I'm marrying him because I need him and I love him and I want to be with him. Making a marriage work from a distance is something that's very hard. And I don't know, it's just something that I wouldn't do. Secondly, about him getting out, I would not encourage somebody who's doing well in the military to get out unless you have a game plan. If you have a job lined up. Of course, you can get unemployment for a little while after you get out, but you need to have a job lined up because you have a family to take care of. They need medical insurance. You need a steady income coming in. You're going to have to support your family. So you have to look at all that. And I would sit down and I would make a checklist of my pros and my cons of getting out and staying in. If your distance between you guys is your only problem, I would seriously look into moving to where he is. And I would seriously, I just wouldn't recommend it. Right now, and the way the economy is, you have a steady paycheck coming in. You have medical insurance that you don't have to pay a dime for. You don't have to pay a dime for your medications. Of course, if you do go out to a regular pharmacy like a Walmart or a Rite Aid or Walgreens, you pay $3. You just have to weigh it and see if it's best for your family. Always think about the kids. Those kids. What are you going to do if one of them gets sick? while he's in lingo. What do? That's a medical bill that you would have to pay coming out of pocket. That's already, you know, setting you back a little bit. So that's my advice. My advice is to move where he is. Excuse me. Trying to lose my voice. My advice would be to move to where he is. Encourage him to stay in if you can. Try to work through the distances. And also, with you moving over here to where he is, there's a network between Navy wives and military wives in general that I find that we try to stick together. If you move to where there's a lot of military, if you move into Navy housing, any kind of military housing, we sort of look at each other like family, and we want to rely on each other. More than likely, you'll find a good friend that you can rely on and work together. I know that's one thing that really helped me when I moved into Navy housing. We moved into Navy housing and we lived there for 2 years. And I tell you, my neighbors were very, very supportive. If they needed something, I was there. If I needed something, they were there. And sometimes that's what you got to do. And if you're in a non-military state, they sort of look at military like, oh, you've got a lot of money and oh, you're da-da-da-da. No, they're not really trying to help you out. But we as military wives, we understand. So, that's all I can tell you to do, chica. And I hope I helped you out a little bit. And if anybody else has any advice for her, put it below. And I'll make sure that she gets it, because I'm going to make sure that she watches this video. Alright, thank you for tuning in. Love you guys. And actually, I'm going to do a second vlog. Well, actually my third one, right after this one. So stay tuned.